So you took your wife to the Porsche dealership and she laughed at you as you pulled onto the lot. It's kind of on you, Carl. You pulled up to a Porsche dealership in December in Wisconsin. It's a flawed tactic. However, I bet she would be open to the idea of an SUV. The question is, V8 or no V8? So she said no to the two-seater 911 sports car. Well, that's rude. She didn't even entertain your meticulously researched and diligently practiced presentation. Get an SUV, she says. They're practical, she says. Fine, Bernice, I'll get an SUV. But it's going to be the most expensive and excessive thing you can imagine. You could consider going the Macan Turbo route, but she might rip your dome from your body if you take her back to the Porsche dealer. That leaves BMW's new X3M with its new twin-turbo S58 straight six, or Mercedes GLC63 AMG packing its twin-turbo V8. The answer is V8. It always has been V8, it always will be V8. Especially when that V8 is hand-built by some guy named Hans in Germany in the AMG division. But just to be sure, why don't we take a closer look? We'll start with the BMW, and yeah, it's a little flashy. It's more angular with a bunch of cuts, grooves, and functional aero drawing some attention to it. But it's just bodywork, right? So you can't get mad at a little personality. And in all black, it's not that noticeable, right? As long as I keep her away from the M Sport quad exhaust, we should be in the clear. Now on the other hand, the Mercedes is much more subtle looking and would be less suspicious. There's some big intakes up front, but if she doesn't pick up on the Panamericana grille and quad exhaust, I can definitely keep it in comfort and she'll have no idea. Alright, she's inside the GLC. I think we're good. It's very Mercedes in here, very classically elegant, and it's got black ash wood rather than carbon fiber, so it totally flies under the radar. Just take care to make sure she doesn't ask what this button is. A pano sunroof, big back seat, it's comfortable. There's no way this thing would have over 450 horsepower, right? Especially when I've got the salesman kid talking about 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Yeah, it's great for the snow, Joe, but you know what else it's great for? Hard-ass launches. Oh yeah, show her the trunk space too. You hear that, honey? Air suspension, so we can lower it to get the dogs in. This is totally gonna work. Okay, so the BMW isn't that flashy inside. It's a little more modern, but not in an obnoxious way. Wait, what are those? There's red buttons on the steering wheel? Red isn't subtle, BMW! You're blowing this for us! Well, if she didn't see those, she's definitely gonna notice the red start-stop button, if not all the M badging everywhere. Yeah, that's it. Tell her about X-Drive all-wheel drive. Perfect for getting to your mother's house this Christmas, darling. We won't have any excuse this year. Ugh. Worth it. Eyes on the prize. Focus. Show her the nice trunk. So much space for Costco runs and taking Garrett to hockey practice. Why the hell did we sign that kid up for the most expensive and smelliest sport in existence? Oh, he's wrapping up the walk around. Time for the test drive. You can do this, Carl. Be cool. This is where you slide the International Auto sales guy a 20 for keeping it cool. And at this point, Bernice has gotten a call from her sister, so she's completely disinterested, which leaves you the keys to go on the test drive on your own. So behind the wheel of the X3M, you're not a total liar. You got X-Drive all-wheel drive, you got a nice sized trunk, you've got a very comfortable back seat. But you know what else you got? S58 twin turbo straight six. And it's fast as shit. So this is the first time we've seen an X3M, so it's kind of fitting that we'll see the S58 for the first time. It will make its way into the new M3 next year, but what we do know is that this S58 puts down 503 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. And that's in the competition trim. Now in the world that we live in of horsepower wars, these numbers kind of start to lose their meaning. So what does 500 horsepower and over almost 450 pound-feet of torque mean? Well, it's probably more than you can handle, Carl. Now 503 horsepower isn't bad, especially when it comes from a straight six. But you know what's more than 6? 8. And that's the number of cylinders that thunder away under the hood of this GLC63. Now we'll just gloss over the fact that this engine is 2 cylinders larger, has an extra liter, and still makes 34 less horsepower. However, in America, we buy horsepower, but we drive torque. And this thing has plenty of that. Holy shit. Also in America, we buy V8. For that reason right there. Now this isn't just a numbers pissing contest. I mean, we were looking at Porsches for Christ's sake before this, so we obviously want our cars to perform and handle well, as in turn. Now BMW's M division has been known for their immaculate steering racks and suspension tuning. And since they went to the electronic steering rack, left the hydraulic behind, the engineers needed something to play with. So it's suspension tuning that they're good at. And to be honest, the ride is a little bit rough. You got 21-inch wheels and pretty aggressive dampers. But if you ever get this thing on track and you get to fully uncork it, you'll be really glad that it's as stiff as it is. Makes a high-riding SUV feel like a go-kart that just had a little extra helping of potatoes for Thanksgiving. Alright, so the BMW's got adaptive dampers. That's fine. That's caveman stuff compared to what this AMG is sitting on. Now in comparison to the barbaric sound of the V8, this 3-stage air suspension does a really good job at composing this chassis. Really balanced and really fast. Now no matter what kind of dampers, air, steel, aluminum, whatever it is, there's no hiding the fact that this thing feels a little bit heavier, and I think that has to do with the transmission. BMW's got that 8-speed ZF. That thing is a dream. This AMG 9-speed is pretty good, but it doesn't keep up with that ZF. Yikes! This AMG has the torque, almost 500 pounds of it, but it just doesn't keep up with that ZF. Oh my god, this thing sounds incredible on Downshift. Oh my god, this is how you go to jail. Alright, and another pull because of a child. Let's talk about transmission, because this ZF is badass. It does everything that you want it to do better than you want it to do it. It bangs upshifts. It totally handles downshifts. It rev matches perfectly. It's fantastic. It has you in exactly what gear you need to be in, and it anticipates where you are based on your throttle input. It's amazing. It also does the comfort and daily drivable thing really well too. It just easily butters through gears when cruising, and when you want it sharpened up, it's right there. Now in comparison with the AMG, this ZF makes this thing feel keyed up and nervous, like a teenager that just walked by a bunch of cops with an 8 in his pocket. From the engine to the gearbox to suspension, the BMW just doesn't let you down. It's the more precise, more disciplined, and more capable performance SUV. The AMG is so much more emotional though. It's something anyone can get in and feel. It's stunning to look at, especially in this cardinal red paint. It's gorgeously designed inside, and it produces a song that will get your lady pregnant. So this is kind of what we've come to expect from these two brands. The M car is the more focused performance car, while the AMG is a little bit more emotional. So which one's the better car? To me, if it were my money, I would go AMG. It's a little bit more accessible, it's a little bit more easy to enjoy without the fear of being sent to a federal penitentiary anytime you get near the throttle. You can enjoy that exhaust note at any time, at pretty much any RPM. And that's something I really love about the way this AMG is built. And with that, those are my thoughts on some of the baddest SUVs that you can buy today. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to see more right now, go ahead and click this info card up here where the M850 takes on the Lexus LC500. And down here we have the billionaire battle. The BMW X7 takes on the Mercedes GLS.